Demon keeps dreaming of a demon town. Motherfucker, bitch, fuck, shit went down. Fleming's got an itch, scratch it with a bitch. Demon keeps dreaming of a demon town. Ooh, Johnson, that's my name.
Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Shadows of the Damned Satanic Hell difficulty video walkthrough. This is the level 2-2, and this is the Cannibal Carnival, with the boss, which is George. And I think this is human form George. And the general principle of the fight is... Watch, do you see that just then? That is me trying to aim over the desk, but the game forced my aim down for some reason. It made no sense, and it frustrated the hell out of me. But this fight is pretty simple. The only problem is, it's very long, and if you make a mistake, you'll probably die, and you'll probably have to do it all over again. And this is literally a 15-minute fight with this asshole, because he takes a beating. But you run away from him. I say run away, you lure him towards the barrels of light, you shoot the light barrels, and then you shoot him in the face. And the first thing I'm going to say is when you knock him down, switch to the green shotgun, to the skull cushioner, and hit him with that. You'll generally only get 2 shots off, but I can almost guarantee that those 2 shots will do a hell of a lot more damage than the pistol does. Because you'll notice, I shoot this guy in the face for a while and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I go to the shotgun and I start hitting him with that, and it seems to work a little better. But how the boss takes place is, after you lose him or you hit him enough times, he'll disappear and he'll kind of lure you out. So when you're running around the map, he cuts you off. But luckily enough, it's not an attack. It's just a kind of, you know, I'm the boss, this is where I am, I'm going to chase you in a second, so run away, please. And it starts again. And it's just a case of leading him towards the barrels. And after each phase, what will happen is once you've hit him enough and done enough damage, he will run away and hide in one of the stalls with a goat's head. And he'll invoke a bunch of shadows. And it'll gradually start draining your life if you stay in it too long. So you've got to look in the massive blue ocean around you for the only part of it that looks orange. And that beacon of orange is the stand where he's hiding, and you have to run and shoot the goat's head. Once you've done that, it'll be the second phase, and the second and third phases are identical. The only difference is the boss will be a hell of a lot more aggressive during the later phases, and if you fuck up, you'll have played for longer and you'll be more frustrated. But that being said, this is really easy, really simple. If you get too close to him, just do a couple of rolls and start running away. Your biggest enemy here is the way the game's designed with the camera and the controls and everything. It can be a little bit finicky, but there's not too much you can do about that. And look at that. How much bullshit is that? There's it happens so much as well. That is another example of the bullshit in this game. There's a boss that's a Grim Reaper, and what you have to do against her is she flies around the room, and once she's finished attacking you, she turns the entire room into darkness, and you have to hit her with a light shot as she rushes you. And this one particular time, I hit her with the shot, and she was inside the geometry, so I couldn't fucking shoot her. She was in a wall, and I could see her legs, I could see her arms, but I couldn't see her weak spot. And it was just like, seriously? It was her last phase, and when she came out of it and I tried to do it again, she killed me with a one-hit kill, and it was like, if the game had not screwed me then, I'd have beat that boss. And it's a common theme throughout my experience with Shadows of the Damned. And maybe that's just part of the Suda51 game. Maybe it's like Fallouts or Bethesda games where you know the game's going to be a little bit janky, a little bit broken at times, but you kind of put up with it because you enjoy it. And who knows, but if he's ever got to go through a table as well, as you've just seen there, he cannot chase you through the tables. He has to do an animation where he destroys them. And the fight is super simple, but it just takes so long. So long. And every boss fight on this game is really long. It got to the point where if it wasn't for the fact I was listening to podcasts while I was doing them, I probably wouldn't have recorded them, because I got really frustrated where I was doing something for 10 minutes and I would die in one hit and I'd have to do it all again. I'm not going to lie to you people, the most frustrating guide I've made. That does not mean it's the hardest guide I've made, it just means this is the one that for whatever reason, it just pissed me off. It pissed me off a lot. And seeing as I've seen for the last 4 minutes on how to do this boss, I'm going to talk about something else, because just telling you and repeating ad nauseum is going to get boring as shit, 'cause this is 14 minutes long. The joy, man. It's just clinically broken. So, I was watching some videos last night. I was watching some Ninja Gaiden 3 videos, if I'm honest, because I'm kind of getting back into Ninja Gaiden because I've been playing the first one, And the third one is coming out, I think, in February, which is awesome, because February is actually closer than you think. And I'm going to be doing a guide for it. I'm going to be hopefully do a Master Ninja guide for it, and I'm just curious of how that game is going to be, because if anybody's not up on the Team Ninja, the developers behind it, the person that's kind of the creative director behind the first 2 Ninja Gaidens was a dude called Itagaki. And he's the guy who's renowned for, you know, making those games. He's kind of the guy that made the game the way it is. Obviously, there was many other developers, many other designers that helped make it the fantastic gem it is. But he's kind of the character who you look at. He's kind of, you know, the Miyamoto of the Zelda franchise. He's the guy you think of as being the reason the game is great. And he left the company to form another one, and they've actually got an action game coming out called like Bullet Angels or something ridiculous, but I'm super excited for that, because just look at the guy that left Capcom, who was originally the creator of Devil May Cry. He went and formed Pure Platinum Productions, or whatever they're called, and they made Bayonetta, and I think Bayonetta is one of the best action games ever made. I can completely understand the people that think that Bayonetta's character's kind of crappy, and everything about the game's characters is kind of rough and things. I wasn't the biggest fan of the character herself, but everything else I loved to death, and I loved the combat, and that's all from a dude who got scorned from Capcom and went and decided to make the best action game he could. So maybe leaving the Ninja Gaiden franchise behind is the best thing for Itagaki, and hopefully we will get another fantastic action game, just like the God of Wars, the Devil May Cries, the Ninja Gaidens, because to me, there is not enough good action games that go to that level of, you know, just sadomasochism in the technique, in their ability to, you know, master the game with the really subtle mechanics that these communities find and exploit. There's not enough games like that. And back on topic anyhow, everybody fears that Ninja Gaiden 3 is going to be rapidly different because of it, and it is. You can't deny that. It's going to be a much different game. A lot of people's fears, though, are it's going to be easier. And I've heard the guy that's now in charge of the development is the dude that handled the Sigma and the Sigma 2 versions of Ninja Gaiden, where they went in and they fixed things, or they tweaked things. And the general consensus on Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 is the guy who was directing it, this dude that's now at the helm of Ninja Gaiden 3, he removes the bullshit out of the games, and he leaves them challenging, but he makes them challenging for different reasons. He makes them, you know, rewardingly challenging, as opposed to, I just got killed by a ghost fish in one hit, and I didn't see it, and there was 9 million of its brothers sat waiting to pick my bones clean, type of bullshit. So I have high hopes, actually, if I'm honest, because I was reading an interview yesterday that this guy has said openly the game will not be easier. He will not be tailoring this game to noobs, or however you want to put it, to casual gamers. It will still be the difficulty you expect. It'll just, you know, be hard for different reasons. And to me, if they took out the incendiary shuriken spam, I would praise that, man. I would shout it from the hills, because there is nothing challenging about giving the enemy the ability to fuck you up in a second with something as cheap as a shuriken that detonates and knocks you into the air. That is gay. That has always been gay. You can't defend that. And the people that like that are just the psychos that sit at home in a bath of salt and cut themselves with razors, and that's what they do as a hobby, that's what they think is fun, that's what they put on the CV. And to me, it's like, if that's what you like to do, dude, awesome. Whatever stops you from, you know, getting a gun, killing a school bus full of kids. But that's not my idea of fun. I like a game that's rewarding and challenging. I don't like a game that just decides to fuck me in the ass when I've been having fun for the last 20 minutes of foreplay. It's just not how I work. But I've got faith in him. I think he's going to make it challenging, but make it more rewarding. That's kind of my mantra of this part of the commentary. I've watched some gameplay, and I don't really know what to make of the gameplay because I've not got the controller in my hands, but there's a lot of quick-time events happening, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because the obliteration techniques, if you think about them, they were quick-time events without the quick-time stuff in them, so maybe now it makes them more skillful, and consecutive performances of those close-up, like, sword-ripping animations, maybe they'll be hard to do. Maybe you'll be able to chain them if you get really good at the timing. Maybe they're actually really impressive, and nowhere near as easy as just pressing circle, or pressing, pressing X or B or whatever you want to press. So I'm hoping that that mechanic looks good, but the one thing that I'm really afraid personally is the ultimate techniques, the UTs, because on the old game there's like a community of strategy behind how you use these techniques. There's the whole on-landing charges, the essence charges, there's all sorts of different ways of making this move work, and stacking this move, and chaining this move, and all sorts of, you know, niche aspects of the game that the developers didn't probably realise you could do, but it kind of just, you know, serendipitously happened. And in the new game, it's handled by a system where when Ryu kills so many people, his arm starts to glow, because I don't know if you've noticed, but he's got like a retard arm. One of his arms is super giant, and like he's been, you know, roiding on one arm and nothing else. And it allows you to pull off an ultimate technique that looks pretty ridiculous. It looks really powerful. But I don't know how it's calculated on how you get it, like how many people you have to kill. I don't know if you can chain it. I don't know anything. So right now, it kind of makes the stuff that I liked about, you know, the older games. They could be taking that away and changing the mechanic, which is a daunting thing, but maybe it'll be for the better. Maybe it'll make it even better. Who knows? You can't really tell. But the gameplay I watched was on game trailers, and it was in a Dubai level. And it's so funny reading the comments on game trailers. People are so attracted and so attached to the ideal of a game that they will refuse all change, ridiculous amounts of change. They don't want it at all. They're like those people that want that garage band to release their first album every album afterwards. And don't get me wrong, I am that guy that likes, you know, the early stuff of some bands because the newer stuff just doesn't sound as good. I am a victim. I am, you know, I'm a criminal when it comes to that opinion. But on games, if they don't push the, you know, the boundaries, if they don't innovate, then it turns into the Call of Duty situation of everybody says they want things to stay the same, yet everybody says they want it to change, and both ways we're still complaining, we're still finding things to bitch about. And those boards are just, I don't want terrorists, I don't want Modern Warfare in my Ninja Gaiden. It's just like there was never anything like this in it before. Why do they have to do it now? It's going to be gay without Itagaki. Ninja Gaiden's dead to me. And comments like this. And it's like, did they even play those other games? The only reason they're saying terrorists is because in the cutscene it says terrorists. But in all honesty, how many fucking people are playing Ninja Gaiden for the cutscenes? How many people are like, I really want to see those titties jungle all up and down, jibble away, like, you know, like some fucking opera singer on a raft. Nobody wants to see that. That's not what we're playing the game for. We're playing the game for the cutscene. Playing the game for the cutscenes, man. I love those fake titties. No, we're playing the game for the gameplay, for their awesome mechanics that they've crafted, for this awesome engine of combat. We're not playing it for fucking wobbly titties and really, really bad voice acting. And as far as soldiers in Ninja Gaiden, there's been soldiers in every single one. They were in the first one, they were in Black, they were in Sigmas, they were in the second one. There's always been soldiers, and the soldiers have always sucked. There's no difference. This time, they're in sand. That's the only difference. They're all wearing like fucking turbans and they've got Gurkha knives. That's the only difference. And instead of saying, you know, oh, those soldiers from the Vigorian Empire, they're saying those terrorists from Dubai. That's the only difference. It's ridiculous. But I watched the gameplay, and it's kind of hard to watch because you don't really know what's happening. I saw the Azuna drop. I think I saw the guillotine throw. I saw a couple of things that looked like new versions of those moves, which seemed kind of cool. He didn't change weapons to anything, and the combat seemed like you were fighting a lot more enemies at the same time. And the dismemberment thing, I don't know if I like it right now, because I did like the fact you could cut people's limbs off, because I'm all for that kind of stuff. But at the same time, if that means that the enemies don't turn into absolute assholes when you chop a leg off, I'm kind of cool with that. But it looks interesting, and I'm going to continue this Ninja Gaiden speak, little talk, should I say, onto the next video, because I've not really talked about what I wanted to. I went off on a tangent for some reason, you know, it's just what I do. But we're coming up to the end of this video, and you'll notice I'm still doing the exact same thing I was 14 minutes ago. And if anybody thinks this is fun, please give me a really, really compelling comment that gives, you know, give me a reason why you think that this should be in games. Because that, to me, that is 14 minutes of bullshit. But hopefully it helps you, and hopefully you'll conquer it. If you're playing on Legion, that guy drops in like 7 minutes. But yeah, this is not Legion. But thanks for watching, guys, and you take care now.